the Somerset Levels, an area recovering from some of the most serious winter flooding in recent memory. A few weeks ago, these fields looked like this. Months of extreme weather caused rivers to break their banks, but now the waters are receding, and for the first time, it is possible to assess the full extent of the damage.
It seems a bit surreal that the landscape was so crazy with the amount of water everywhere, and now it's all gone. It almost feels like it hasn't happened, but it's still a big nightmare. The clean-up is going to take months for people, and people certainly will not forget how bad it's been, for sure. I think people are still very cross that that the rivers have not been dredged for 20 years, and that the amount of media coverage has been good if they're going to come through and do everything that they said that they're going to do. And I think that's a waiting game to see, for people to see what actually is going to happen.
Things could have been done earlier, which wouldn't have stopped it flooding quite so badly, but would have prevented it being quite so bad, I think, and not gone on so long. Once the sort of newsworthiness of it has gone, that people tend to forget very quickly. The farmer who's very close to us, I spoke to him not recently, and certainly some of his fields were still underwater, even though the river's gone down, and he was saying that their grazing will be affected for the entire year. They will have lost an awful lot. So it's a long-term thing that obviously they're having to deal with all the time.
We had to open all hours basically when things got really serious and people were being evacuated, animals were being evacuated, etc. And we were the centre of all the volunteer work of basically everyone helping people who were potentially in trouble. The problems certainly haven't gone. I mean, obviously the huge amount of properties that have been flooded, there's a huge amount of clearing up to do. Around the whole area, there's an awful lot of mess and debris everywhere to be cleaned up, and obviously people are going to be out of their homes for quite a considerable amount of time. Some of it looks pretty grim, some of it's quite muddy, there's a lot of dead animals, a lot of weed. We've got a couple of fields that were underwater and they're not looking great at the moment. We're just sort of hoping now for a more prolonged period of dry weather to sort of dry that up and improve it. But this time of year the grass should be a lot taller than it is. So. They're man-made rivers and they need to be continually maintained. So as long as that happens, there's various other things as well that needs to be ensured that trees that have been uprooted are replaced, because obviously the local trees around here that are particularly acclimatised to this area of the country, the willow trees, they soak up a huge amount of water. As quite a few have been upturned in the storms, so a lot of them need to be replaced, and all of the other actions really that are in the plan that has been laid out. At the moment, we're just waiting for the dredging to start. We've been down today and seen that the machines are there and the compound for the work going on is there. So fingers crossed that'll happen.